EDYE Brookshire. EDYE, how you doing?
Good. Do I have my sound on?
You've got your sound on, and you look real pretty. And
Oh,
just
thank you.
yeah, yeah.
I feel better already.
So what you gonna do for us
So
today? You
this
got you
first
got.
song is from a woman's point of view. You know, these guys write all these love songs about the ladies and the girls, and so this one is to you guys, but it's the woman's point of view.
Okay.
You're the kind when women look at you, they always say, well, he could eat his crackers in my bed any day. You've got hair that was just made for running fingers through. I know 'cause I can see you from a woman's point of view. Now I don't mind them looking long as all they do is look. But sometimes seeing the cover makes you wanna read the book. I know just what they're thinking. I have thought the same things too. I know 'cause I can see you from a woman's point of view. I know there's lots of girls who wait to love you if I don't. But I wouldn't have a man that no one else would want. The way you have with women is what attracted me to you. I know 'cause I can see you from a woman's point of view. Now I don't mind them looking long as all they do is look. But sometimes seeing the cover makes you wanna read the book. I know just what they're thinking. I have thought the same things too. I know 'cause I can see you from a woman's point of view. Yes, I know 'cause I can see you from a woman's point of view. And that's the truth.
Tell you what, Edie, if you could sing a little closer to the microphone there, your voice, you've got a really good balance, but we can hear your voice a little bit more if you can do that.
Let me check the volume on that. See if I need that.
Yeah.
I'll see if I maybe a little closer.
Just a little closer.
Okay. The gentleman a minute ago did a sad song. This one is kind of a sad song, but you know, it's the truth for many young girls. I guess we write songs about life. The dusty old room was the setting, and the organ squeaky away. There was no friend around to throw rice at the bride who wore a lavender veil. Church music and flowers are for good girls, white gowns with long streaming trails. There was more shame than love in the heart of the bride who wore a lavender veil. Did she wish that she were back playing with dolls instead of marrying to have it fail? Too old to play with toys, too young to play with life, so the bride wore a lavender bed. Church music and flowers are for good girls, white gowns with long streaming trails. There were no friends around to throw rice at the bride who wore a lavender veil. At the bride who wore a lavender veil.
I love that song. That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you very much. Now this next song is another one that we wrote. This one I co-wrote with another lady, and Faye Keys is her name. And this one is about the ladies that love their guys and their men enough for some of the things that they would do for that man. I see the golden sequins and think that they must glow, just like the love I call my own and never will let go. To keep a happy home now is how it's toils and snares. To please the one that I love, I'd even be known to wear 1,000 sequins, 10 feathers and a fan is the costume that I'd wear if that would please my man. Behind the footsteps 5 nights a week I'd stand, wearing 1,000 sequins, 10 feathers and a fan. The gold that I found at the Rainbow's End was just enough to make me a simple wedding band. The one who's with me now, all of his love does share. I'd do anything he asked, even if it were to wear 1,000 sequins, 10 feathers and a fan is the costume that I'd wear if that would please my man. Behind the footlights 5 nights a week I'd stand, wearing 1,000 sequins, 10 feathers and a fan. Wearing 1,000 sequins, 10 feathers and a fan. You know, somebody just might do that.
That's right.
Now this one really is a sad song. It's partially true. We've heard stories about many times people will send their kids to church and they don't take them. And there's all kinds of reasons or excuses. Maybe they have the lawn to mow, or they're too tired, or they have a headache, or whatever the reason is. And this song is a story about this little girl that was taken to church that day. As I drove back to church that day, there were people in the street. I thought, what a strange place for such a crowd to meet. Then the chilling hand of fear reached out and touched my world. Someone said a drunk driver had struck a little girl. Kelly and her Bible were laying on the ground. The pictures she had painted were scattered all around. I heard the kindly doctor say the little girl is gone. I took her to Sunday school, but the angels took her home. She woke us up so we had time for us to dress and go. You had an awful headache and I had the lawn to mow. Now the flowers and the music won't take my guilt away. She might be home if I had stayed at church with her that day. Kelly and her Bible were laying on the ground. The pictures she had painted were scattered all around. I heard the kindly parson say, the little girl is gone. I took her to Sunday school, but the angels took her home. I took her to Sunday school, but the angels took her home.
That is really a sad song, but it's such a story though. You tell it so well that you can just see it.
Well, I thank you. I appreciate that. I guess I do. You know, when I write songs, I kind of have something in mind, and it is a story. And for me, now this is just me. I don't know everything, and I'm not the best writer in the world. But to me, for a song to make sense, you have to have a time, a place, and a reason.
And there's a real message
put that all
there.
together, it will tell a story. And the time could be yesterday when you were young. It could be tomorrow. It could be today. And the place could be anywhere you're writing about. And the reason is whatever the reason is.
Yeah.
And you put those together and you will have
a hit song. Yeah.
Well, this next song is one that I wrote as a result of, I usually play in a full band, so it's a little hard for me to well, I do single acts myself too, but a lot of times I have a full band and it makes it easier. You feel like they cover your mistakes. But my band was in a Battle of the Bands contest one time. And before we were through with the set, one of the guys said, "EDYE, I think you should yodel." And I said, "Oh, I don't know. Are you sure?" And they, "Yeah, I think you should. It's a novelty. It's different." So I did a yodel song, and it was a very old, like Elton Britt or I don't know who all did this. It was popular many years ago. And that one was called Chime Bells. Well, we won the band contest. And one of the judges said, "You're going to have, we won a recording contract to do a record, this one." And they said, "You need to write a yodeling song because that's what won you the contest." And the guy said, "See there, I told you." But no one yodels anymore. And my uncles and my family, they did all of the old time yodels, and they were different from what Elton Britt or Sunshine Ruby or some of those that did. And so I don't know. I don't think I yodel like anyone. I'm just EDYE. That's why this is one I wrote. Out on a mountain peak high in the sky, I look down below at the beautiful sight. I feel close to heaven at what I see. I know down below someone's waiting for me. I'll yodel down to him, yodel lady, and if he answers, that means he loves me, like a mockingbird singing, yodel lady. so far away. We talk to each other our own special way. He'll come to see me as soon as he can, but we'll have to yodel till then. And I'll yodel down to him, yellow water lady. And if he answers, that means he loves me, like a mockingbird singing, yellow water lady. He's yodeling back to me. And that's about it. You know, as I mentioned, I've had a big flood here at my recording studio, and the frozen pipes flooded everything, and a lot of my equipment is or was wet, got to be replaced or repaired. And I have other songs, but today these are the ones that I just picked out that's just off the cuff. And I think all of us have our stories about our songwriting. And, you know, I just love to play music and have fun with it. And I think that's the variety of my writing. But I do blues and I do country and I do a lot of gospel songs at my place in Oklahoma first Saturday every month. That's what we do, is gospel and country grass. But I think we should do what we enjoy doing. And if you like to write, like to play and sing, just keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. Yeah, you're doing a great job. You've done a great job.
Thank you.
And it sure is a pleasure having you here today.
Oh, thank you. I've had a really good time. Y'all are fun folks. I'm anxious to meet you in person sometime.
Well, I'm gonna come up there to your deal one of these days, and we'd love to have you come down and do our on the fourth Thursday of every month. We do Love and War on stage.
Oh, okay.
It's like an open mic thing, but if you ever decide you want to come down, we'll give you a special spot.
Well, my goodness.
The food is great, by the way.
I didn't know I was special.
Of course.
I get a special spot.
You get a special spot, yeah, you will.
Well, I would love to do that sometime. Fourth Thursday,
yes. Like 7 to 9 o'clock. It's Love and War in Plano.
In Plano, okay.
Yeah, they've got a nice stage up there, too. It's really
well,
nice.
I've never been there. Do you do only originals or do you mix it up?
Well, we try to do only originals, but you can do covers there. It's allowed. They allow it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you for having me, and I've enjoyed the other.
Well, you've got 10 more minutes to go.
Well, I would just have to talk. No, do you want me to? No, I have other songs that I've written, but I just didn't have them.
You're not prepared to do any more songs?
I'm sorry?
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to be a songwriter, and a little bit about Nashville and stuff.
Okay, I grew up in a musical family. My mother's family all played. And my grandfather and my grandmother had their 4 children, which was my mother and her sister and 2 brothers. And during the Depression, many years ago, they could make money playing music when there were no jobs. And they would make nickels and dimes in tips, which was more than a lot of people made working when there were no jobs. And so they did pretty well for those times. They would just go downtown to the local town, either Greenville, Texas, or Sulphur Springs or somewhere, and play their music. And I grew up playing with them, and my grandpa showed me my first 3 chords. And then as I got a little older, my aunts and uncles were playing out different places, And I started being allowed to play with them sometimes. And my aunt became a really fine champion fiddle player. So I started accompanying her. And that's how I learned guitar, was backing her. And then we played several things together through the years. And then as I got older, through high school, I played rock and roll in a band. And even now, sometimes I do some blues and rock and roll and old time rock and roll stuff, and for our dances that we play. But then uh, I was on several of the local TV shows, Joe Bill's Country Picnic and Cowboy Weaver and Ron Rice, and several Biggie Jamboree. I was on that one regularly. And then I was working at the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, and because of the type of job it was, and our benefits, I was able to accumulate a lot of leave time, either vacation leave or sick leave. And because of the job I had and the benefit of being able to save my vacation leave, it enabled me to go to the Country Music Awards, and some of the things that I qualified for, I was able to do, or some of my playing jobs, because of the leave time that I could accumulate. And so I had two children and was married, and with a daytime job, I was able to work weekends and all the time. And my mother was killed in an accident, and I'm the eldest of seven kids. And one by one, my sisters came to live with me and my husband, and they were my built-in babysitters. And the kids loved them. They think my sisters are their sisters, and so it allowed me to play my music and not have to worry about my kids being cared for. And so I continued to play and I continued to work. And now I retired from the Army and Air Force Exchange Service, and I have my retirement and I can play music anytime I want to. And I have that place in Oklahoma. I've had it 25 years. And it's a little cabin in the woods, but it's 40 acres with deep woods and a big creek in the back. And it's a great place to go hang out. And so that's what I do a lot of the time. But first Saturday every month, April through October, is when we have the music up there.
So
And
what do you do?
welcome.
What kind of a music event do you have up there?
It's gospel and country grass, country music and bluegrass, whatever anybody wants to play, old time rock and roll. But it's out in the country, and I have a 53-foot flatbed 18-wheeler truck bed that we made into a stage.
What could be
So
more
you can
country than
say,
that?
I can say I was on the big stage.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. And uh, tell us a little bit about Nashville. You were in Nashville, right? On the.
I've been in Nashville several times. In fact, it's so funny. Sometimes when I'm playing, they'll say, and I appreciate it. I feel blessed, and I'm very thankful that someone will pay me a compliment. But they say, you ought to go to Nashville. And I said, I've been there a lot of times. And then when I am there, if I'm hanging with some of the locals, I enjoy hanging around the local musicians and hearing their stories and everything. Only big names make big money in Nashville. I mean, the locals, they have jobs. The guys and their wives usually work, and if they're strictly a musician, they have more than one job, different places throughout the week, because many of those theaters are not open every single night of the week. And this COVID has been hard on all of us as far as our music playing gigs. And but anyway, I've been to the Country Music Awards. I qualified twice, and my husband and I stayed at the Ramada Inn in Alabama. Happened to stay there that night, and we all had breakfast together the next morning. But the fun thing about it is, after the awards, they always have a big stand-up social. There are no tables and chairs. You just stand around and visit. And it's really a neat thing because many of those people are just like us. They haven't always been big names, and they treat me just like I'm one of them, and I'm a local nobody. I've done all of the things with all the big names. I've been on stage with so many of them, but I'm not rich and famous. I'm just a local person that still loves to play music, and I guess I always will as long as I can. But I love my musician brothers and sisters, and we always have a good time together. I don't burn bridges. You never know when you may have to call that person that's a good steel guitar player or a fiddle player or lead guitar. You may never know when you may need them again. So
Don't
it's
burn
good to
bridges.
not burn bridges.
That's right. Well, Edie,
But anyway,
it's been so wonderful to have you, and it's always wonderful to visit with you and hear about that kind of stuff. And I want you to know that you're probably an inspiration to this next young lady that's going to play, because she is a lawyer and she's got a really good job, and I don't think she's ever going to give that job up. She's down there in Austin. She lives down there
well,
in Austin now.
I'll be anxious to hear
But
her.
she's of the caliber and the quality. She could be a singer songwriter, and I expect we're going to hear from her one of these days. And I'll just put y'all on the screen together here. We're gonna
Okay.
do this. I want you to meet this young lady, EDYE Brookshire. Meet
Hi.
Cat McGee. Cat McGee. Meet EDYE Brookshire.
Hello,
Hello.
Pat.
Nice to meet you. And I just so enjoyed your set, especially
Oh,
that yodeling was fantastic.
Wasn't it?
oh, thank you. Where do
Wasn't
you
it?
live?